Hi, my name is Vincent Rigby. I'm the Slater Family Professor of Practice at the Max Bell School of Public Policy at McGill University. My field of expertise here at the Max Bell School is international relations, foreign policy. I tend to focus on defense policy, national security issues. I teach a course in Canada-US relations, for example. I've done case studies in the past on things like the Freedom Convoy. Before I came to Max Bell, I was in the Public Service of Canada for 30 years. Spent about 15 years in the Department of National Defence, but then went on to work in places like the Privy Council Office, Global Affairs Canada, Public Safety Canada, and finished off as the National Security Intelligence Advisor to the Prime Minister. So I mention all that just to say that what I bring to the school, I think, is a lot of experience in public policy. I was a bit of a policy wonk in the government. I focused on strategic policy. And so I've been in the trenches on a lot of the files, a lot of the issues that I actually talk about at the school. So hopefully when I get a chance to meet with you and you come to the school, we can talk about some of these issues, some of my experiences and what I've learned over the years. National security has evolved in terms of the threats, but I think also the definition of national security has evolved. So it covers so many different things now. We tend to think of it as state against state. We tend to think about it in terms of armed conflict. But I think that it encompasses so many other issues now. Things like climate change. We saw the COVID epidemic evolving into a national security threat over time. So there's a much broader, more all-encompassing definition of national security now. And I've seen that evolve, as I say, over the last quarter century, and now I get to read about it and continue to follow it and talk about it with students. Intelligence is about probability. We don't predict the future, but we look at all the information that we collect, all those different sources, and we can go and say, based on all of this, there is a probability that X, Y, or Z is going to happen, or it may be A, B, and C, but we can't say without a shadow of a doubt that this is the way something's going to unfold. So there's still a cloak and dagger element to intelligence gathering, but there's also a lot of people, as I say, sitting behind computers, just using their brain power, really, really smart and committed people, doing the hard work of trying to piece all that information together and make sense of it. So I think I'd give several pieces of advice to anybody who comes into the government now, into the public service. And I think first and foremost is the public service is such a great employer because there's so many different things you can do inside of government, and you don't have to commit yourself just to one department or one agency or one specific topic. So I always encourage people to move around a little bit, do different things, even if you really have your heart set on working in the security world, in the intelligence world. That doesn't mean you can't go to other government departments and work your way into those specific sectors or specific areas at some point in the future. So get lots of different experience, get a sense of how government, how the public service writ large works, and don't say no to opportunities outside your chosen area of expertise just because you think, well, it's not really what I want to do. You'll be surprised at what you can learn in a wide variety of departments. The second piece of advice I usually give to students is don't be in too much of a rush. I think that a lot of people get into their job and they immediately want to get their next promotion and they're mapping out their career. Learn, live in the moment, wherever you are. Don't be thinking about the next job. Focus on doing a good job, what you're doing at that time. Don't get to a point later in your career where you may have got the promotion, but you got a bunch of gaps because you didn't pay sufficient attention when you were in a specific job. The best place to be when you finally get to where you want to be in your career is that you have policy experience, you have operational experience, program experience. And the final piece of advice I give is the public service, like anywhere, I think, is about people at the end of the day. And so establish networks, get to know people, seek out mentors, seek out people who can give you advice. And not just those who are above you, but also your colleagues. Always think about the people aspect of it, getting to know people, working with people, really absorbing everything that your colleagues have in terms of knowledge and experience and learning from them and reaching out and seeking those opportunities. Because one of the great things about the public service is that you meet some really, really interesting people at the end of the day from whom you can learn so much. So think about that as you move forward, that people side to it all, which should really be central, should really be at the forefront of anything you do.